Welcome. This slide reviews the importance of stakeholder management within the field of project management. Who are project stakeholders? The list of project stakeholders includes anyone who can affect the outcome of the project or anyone who will be affected by the project. Stakeholders can be internal, any employee or owner of the organization, or external, customers, vendors, governmental entities, even the public can be a stakeholder in a project. Some stakeholders have authority over project resources. Others have the expertise necessary to understand and plan the project. Project team members, the people who actually do the work of the project, are also stakeholders. Add any person or group whose acceptance for performance is critical to the success of the project, and you've just identified the key stakeholders. In many projects, the list of stakeholders will be a very long one. Given limited resources and limited time, which stakeholders should the project manager manage? The first step to managing project stakeholders is identifying key project stakeholders by asking the following questions. Who will fund the project? Who will supply personnel for the project? Who will provide expertise for the project? Who will work on the project? Who are the project customers? Who will support the new product or process when the project is complete? After the project manager identifies the key stakeholders, he or she will interview them. The following questions should be asked. How familiar are you with the project and its goals and objectives? This question will help identify differences in key stakeholder expectations. What is your opinion of the project as the means to achieve the goal and objectives? Discover whether the stakeholder supports the project or whether they are indifferent or opposed to the project. What is your experience with the technology, business processes, or subject matter involved with the project? This question may uncover expertise that you can leverage. Which factors will determine the success or failure of the project? This question will help identify project requirements and project risks. Who are the other project stakeholders? This question will identify stakeholders that may have been overlooked. After the stakeholder interviews are completed, interview notes are analyzed and summarized. This analysis is incorporated into a stakeholder management strategy that accounts for how much influence a stakeholder has over the success of the project, how much interest a stakeholder has in the project, and identify strategies for gaining or keeping their support for the project, and, if appropriate, capitalizes on their influence by creating meaningful roles for them in the project. It is useful to employ an assessment and planning tool to structure and guide interactions with project stakeholders. A commonly used tool for these purposes is the Stakeholder Assessment Matrix. The matrix is made up of 5 columns: the stakeholder's name, their interest in the project, their influence over project success, strategies for gaining or keeping their support, and a column to assign the strategy to a specific team member. Each row identifies a stakeholder. It can be challenging and even risky for a project manager to manage stakeholders above him or her on the organizational chart. Ideally, the project sponsors want to manage executive-level stakeholders and have the authority, skills, and temperament necessarily to do so. Attributes of a good project sponsor include commitment to the project, trustworthiness, authority to make major project decisions, ability to negotiate and set project priorities, respect of executives and staff, and direct lines of communication to key executives. There are 6 keys to managing project stakeholders. 1. Executives need concise and relevant information in order to agree on project objectives and to make staffing and other major project decisions. 2. Subject matter experts need to understand the goal and objectives of the project in order to guide project planning. 3. Team members need to understand the goal and objectives of the project in order to plan and perform their work. 4. Team members need to feel free to share problems and concerns with the project manager without fear of recrimination. 5. Customers need to make meaningful contributions to the project requirements. They should be engaged by the project management throughout the life of the project. 6. There may be some internal losers if the project is successful. The project management should explore ways to minimize hardships that the project produces and incorporate related actions into the project plan. With few exceptions, project managers do not have much power. Project managers may have the responsibility for leading the project. However, they seldom have the authority to make critical project decisions, establish schedules or budgets, or assign team members. Consequently, the phrase managing stakeholders is a bit misleading. Leading, informing, persuading, coaching, and supporting stakeholders are better words to describe project managers' relationships with their stakeholders. The most important component of leading, informing, persuading, coaching, and supporting is effective communication. In summary, the key to working with stakeholders is found in understanding their motivations, interests, and spheres of influence. 4 rules to successful stakeholder management are: 1. Appreciate the role each stakeholder plays in the success of the project. 2. Appreciate which tools and information each stakeholder needs to be successful. 3. Create an environment in which each stakeholder receives the tools they need to be successful. 4. Communicate. Distribute information to stakeholders in a timely, transparent, controlled, and systematic manner. Thank you once again for your time and attention, and this is BusinessTraining.com, where you can earn master's level qualifications to make more money.